thrown to the wind, because that's the only way you save us. You understand that? All this plotting and, oh, what's the neighbor going to think, and caring about peer pressure. I cannot believe people that are into peer pressure. I mean, that's so far back for me, so ridiculous. When some stupid, dumbed-down zombie laughs at you, it's a medical issue of a poor, mentally ill, artificially induced, mentally defunct person. It doesn't pierce me when I get ridiculed or made fun of, because this is a victim. This is like a homeless person who's got schizophrenia from chemicals standing on the street corner, gibbering at people, and then pointing at you and laughing at you. Does that upset you? No. Well, it doesn't upset me they're making fun of me. It upsets me that they're so mind-fried. You understand that? So, I said I'd go to your calls. Here's the point. Here it is crystallized. When we are faced with absolute, out-of-control megalomania craziness, which is actually a repeat of every other society always tried to exterminate the group they've been at war with for a long time. The globalists want total victory. Total victory means killing us. Then they have all the advanced technology, life extension. All the movies I go out and see now are about this. I went and saw Spider-Man with my wife. I thought it was a really good movie compared to Batman, and had a good message of anti-transhuman genetic engineering and the mad scientist who wants to live forever and is injecting himself with it. And I know a lot of people in Hollywood, that they're not all bad. A lot of them are actually waking up, and that's threatening the power structure. But my point is that this is the real issue. The whole destiny of humanity is being decided right now. Okay? And we have to escalate our rhetoric, because no amount of rhetoric is enough in the face of this evil. This evil is so deep, so big, so large, so complex. If you can think about it, you go look it up, they're doing it. And stuff you can't imagine, they're doing it. Inventing new sins, inventing new evil, inventing playing God, wrecking things, screwing things up. It might as well be an intergalactic group of invisible aliens that landed here and are trying to destroy our civilization by manipulating people. Basically, what the Bible says. Demons, whatever. But all of that aside, there are people that want to screw everything up. There are people who like to dominate innocence. There are people that are bad, and they're being forged into a battering ram to smash our civilization, and I'm not going to sit here and put up with it. People that think it's the safe path to go along with this are fools. So, here's the little secret that everybody knows. Isn't it funny? The secret because it's not being used. People ask, I was on Max Kaiser, one of his international TV shows, was it RT or Press TV? I was on it this morning, and he asked, why are you undoubtedly the most successful alternative media, heads and shoulders above the rest globally? Why are you number one? And I basically said, because I will tell people just how bad it is. I mean, it's really simple. I will talk about what's really important. Because you can debate stuff all day long. I mean, I go back to this every 10 minutes now. We're gonna do whole shows on this again. We've done them before, but I'm going to get a compendium together and do a whole special report of government secret experimentation on the populations, killing little kids, killing women, killing children, killing troops. Folks, they know DU's a death sentence to all the troops that use it. But they know they're macho and young, and they tell them it's going to be fine, They'll serve their 2 or 3 tours, then go home and have kidney failure. And when you realize that the elite even write books about how we're dumb animals and we deserve what's happening to us, I take real offense at that, because I've studied the elite and they're not elite. There's nothing elite about cheating outside the laws of humanity to be in control. And you know my analogy of cancer. Cancer is not in control. If cancer could have a consciousness, it would think that it was really cool and it was racing through the body and nothing could stop it. No, you're going to kill the body. And So my children, my wife, live within the body politic of terra firma on this planet. And see, the body is going to die if we don't cut the cancer out. So everybody's running, trying to save their family individually, save their own little corner of the world. That isn't going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, until we address the big cancer. It's got to be met. It's got to be dealt with. It's got to be committed against. You have to commit against it. And to do that, you've got to really see it. And let me tell you, there's the old saying that the teacher appears when the student is ready. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have to sit here and tell you all the stuff that's going on. It's happening everywhere in your face now. World government's out in the open, run by the exact group we told you was building it. They're militarizing, they're announcing martial law, troops on the streets. They're not calling it martial law, but we're going into it. And people are sending me comments and emails going, well, Alex, it's the collapse. Of course. Yeah, but they collapsed it to then sell this. Yes, I know it's for the collapse. Yes, I understand that. I understood that 15 years ago. I really started waking up 15 years ago. I thought I knew a lot. I didn't know anything. And now every month I learn more than I knew in the decade before. Let me tell you, that's what's wild, is that my knowledge of this is now compounding and accelerating to a point where I can't even handle it, okay? I mean, I know what they're going to do before they do it. I know what their battle plans are. I know what they're thinking because I have spent so much time following what they do, and I've studied what they're into. And let me just tell you something. These people might as well be demons out of hell. I'll tell you right now, all you atheists don't believe in heaven and hell, even though every ancient culture said there's these really bad things, these good things. Let me tell you something, folks. It might as well be, because it's like creatures out of Hellraiser have taken over or something. That's exactly the kind of stuff they're into. All that art is imitating life. It's like Final Fantasy. It's like Event Horizon. You're like, what is what do they want? What does the New Order want? Well, they want to murder people. I mean, what am I supposed to? People are like, well, why did he have 35 bodies in his basement? Because that's what this crazy person likes it. To a psychopath, rotten bodies is like pumpkin pie. To a normal person, we're like, oh, man, that's really horrible. Not to them. You ever been out on a ranch or something and pull up next to a dead cow? It's been dead 4 or 5 days. And a possum comes right out of a hole in it. Just as happy as you could be. With that look on its face. That's David Rockefeller. I mean, have you ever seen a possum come out of the hind end of a rotten cow? You've seen David Rockefeller's spirit. And you're like, well, I would never want to climb inside a dead cow. Exactly. You're not a New World Order person. You're not an elitist. You just want to be a good, decent person. And that's why you're wide open to their attacks. I'm going to shut up. Anonymous. Then we're going to go to James, Robert, Jacob, and Max. Anonymous, you're on the air from Texas. Go ahead.
Thank you for taking my call, Alex. It's an honor to speak with you. My friends and family and people I hold dear think of you as a modern-day Paul Revere. Well,
sir, I'm just trying to survive. Thank you. What's on your mind?
Well, I had a two-part question, but before I ask that question, I wanted to lead up to it for the American people who listen to your show. They'll understand why I'm so mad and why I have to ask this question. Right now, these globalist scum are poisoning our air with aluminum oxide. They're poisoning our food by Monsanto. They're fluoriding and poisoning our water. They're imploding our economy and selling our children's souls to debt for the future. Our children are being raped and murdered by the likes of the Bohemian Grove, and our ability to protect ourselves is now being taken away. And now we face a future under martial law and the likes of Agenda 21. So my question to you, Alex, is do the American people, through the Second Amendment, does it still enable us, the American people, to organize a militia system?
Yes, the right to revolt is in the Bill of Rights Constitution and the state constitutions.
Your voice, you reach so many people. I don't understand why you don't call us to arms. You are the proverbial head of the don't tread on me snake.
Yeah. Let me just explain something. The NSA's got kill switches all throughout the infrastructure. The minute I started doing that, they would hit a kill switch. But now that I think about it, they wouldn't even do that. They probably want that so that they could get the Civil War going. Sir, they want to shut the web down and shut people up because they're a tiny globalist minority of crooks manipulating us through false stories. Everyone, before we talk about being called out to start shooting people, should be shooting people with info weapons of truth. Okay? The minute we went out and started blasting idiot government people would be the minute that they could spin things against us. We need to wait and let them pull off some more Wacos and stuff. For all of you people that want to get a physical war going, stay there. I'm going to come back to you. Listen. Everybody wants to talk about shooting war, okay? You want to go out and wake up the police and military, not kill them. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Hi there. My name is Frank Bates.
Knocking Anonymous, and I'm not challenging this person to give their full name, but I'm here on the radio reaching millions of people right now, and if I thought violence was the answer, I would certainly discuss it. But that is not the answer. Offensive violence is never the answer. Okay? That's just the way it works. And the system is amassing force against us. They are attacking us more and more. And that's waking people up. And so it's the old saying, you've got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. Everybody just buys more guns and digs in and says, we're ready to kill somebody that comes to take the guns. You should be using your First Amendment at the county level, the city level, the legislature. You should be doing banner hangs. I see people all over Austin. My wife sees it every week. Different people with Infowars.com signs, with signs saying tune into the local radio stations. That's happening all over the country. Dave Mustaine has been in Manila, Philippines, and now China. And he says in all those countries, people come up and say, Alex Jones, Infowars.com. I was talking to Max Kaiser today before he taped his TV show that they're going to air Friday. And he was saying, yeah, you're huge over here in Europe. And I know that. But again, it isn't about Alex Jones is huge. Let me tell you, that's just a danger issue for my physical body. And it's a responsibility. But let me just give Americans the little message. We are absolutely destroying the globalists right now in the info war. That's why they want to start a big war to get everybody distracted, and they want to stage some false flag events so they can grandstand. But they did that thing out in Aurora, and yeah, it's staged, folks. There's no doubt now. It's ridiculous how much evidence. And poll numbers went up for guns. So they're really freaking out right now. Again, people say, well, what's the call to arms? What do you do? March on D.C.? They've got alternate governments all over the place. Then you get something even worse. The answer is not having some war offensively. If they start trying to confiscate guns, 1776 will start. And let me just go further here. They want that. The globalists have gauged the public, and I think they've gauged incorrectly. And they think, these are guys that make 40-to-1 bets on the stock market. The globalists are crazy. They think that you are going to just turn them all in. And they don't care if 2 or 3% doesn't turn them in and shoots up police and military. That will start the real police state. See, because they see the cops and the military in the same boat as us. See, that's what's so stupid. People sit there and talk about going out and having a war with the police and military. If you read globalist documents that have been leaked, they hate the military, the veterans. They hate police officers. Folks, they hate anybody that knows how to use a gun, anybody that's lived in the real world. They want to make us all a bunch of jellyfish nanny state people. They do not like, oh my gosh, this, you know, I said I'd go to a bunch of calls, and this one caller I could talk for 2 hours with about this issue. I constantly see people anonymously saying it's time to start killing. And a lot of them are feds. You know, listening to your voice, this guy probably isn't. But if you knew how many times I've been at a signing event or you know, speaking, and a guy that's clearly a cop or an informant comes over and says, let's engage in